Brazen disregard or just plain callousness? We showed you the truth behind Bengaluru's biggest civic disease, forcing the state government to take note and clean up their act. But 72 hours later, a mere 72 hours later, we've caught them on camera once again, dumping waste and poisoning the Bellandur Lake. The assurances are clearly a mere eyewash. The images on your screen, they bear testimony to the doublespeak and the sheer apathy shown by the Bengaluru government. Shrija, who exposed this, has been closely tracking these developments. She joins us now with more details. Let's get across to her.
It was just yesterday the civic bodies got onto work after the NGT, RAP, BDA, BWSSB as well as the BBMP. In fact, we also showed you the mesh work being done as well as the Paura Karmikas picking up the garbage. However, just a day after that, that is on Tuesday, we see another sorry state of affairs here right at the Bellandur Lake. As you can see, the conservancy workers in fact segregate the garbage and dump it right into this particular lake. As you can see, the garbage has been dumped here. Also the visuals that you see on your screen, they are segregating the waste, picking up the garbage from different households in this very area of Bellandur and dumping the garbage on the other side of the lake. That is the work where exactly it started on Monday. Remember, the BDA had promised saying that they will take care of as far as the garbage is concerned. That is, the BBMP will look into the garbage issues. They will stop all the garbage which is being dumped into the lake. However, that really hasn't happened. But this morning's the visual that we saw was really shocking, where the conservancy workers working with the BBMP themselves dumping the garbage on the lake bed. In Bengaluru, Shrija for Mirror Now.
Right, we're now joined by Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee's working president, Dinesh Gundurao. Dinesh, we were the first, of course, Mirror Now was the first to congratulate the government when the government went across and took the step of fencing this lake. We are now seeing that the very same government, and we have on camera proof, they're actually dumping the garbage on the other side of the lake. What would you say? Isn't this a mere eyewash?
Nothing is an eyewash. The government is doing a lot of work in trying to see that Bellandur Lake is revived and, STP plants and all kinds of using other technologies to ease the froth. We are doing a lot of work over there trying to see that we revive that lake. It's not that the lake has become bad during our tenure or anything. It has been built up over a long period of time. But anyway, now, regarding this issue, I do not know exactly what is the visuals is there, but I'm sure that we will look into it and see that, obviously to revive the lake is the number one priority for our government. And we're putting a lot of money into this, a lot of funds into this. People are monitoring it on a daily basis and things are being worked out. So if there's anything wrong that is happening, definitely we will take...
Yes, Mr. Rao, but if your people were monitoring it on a daily basis, I'm sorry to interrupt you there, but if your people are monitoring it on a daily basis, how did they miss this? Your Paura Karmikas are picking up the garbage from one end of the lake and they are dumping it on the other end of the lake. This is something our reporter and our cameraman picked up.
I will not come to any conclusion immediately, but let our officers look into it and see exactly what is happening, why it has happened like this. And if there's any real fault, if they have done, definitely we will see that it is prevented. And whoever is doing this, we will take some action on them. But let them look into it, because even regarding the other lake on Vartur also yesterday, day before, they were showing that some debris were being put. So that is also being looked into, because the other claimants are saying that we are putting debris on our property, not on the lake bed. So whatever it is, the matter will be looked into seriously. It is a very serious issue, and we are addressing it as on a priority basis. And
serious issue. That is why we keep returning to this. Tell us this: by when can we expect action on this? Because this is clear proof on camera, and we would gladly share it with you. Of civic workers dumping garbage on the other side of the very same lake. When can we expect action on this?
I'm not the officer, neither am I a minister. I represent the political party, but I will definitely bring it to the notice of our minister and our officer and tell them to look into this on a immediately. And if suppose something wrong is being done, definitely we should take action, because to revive Bellandur Lake, government is pumping in so much of money, and also at the same time we are being attacked on small issues. Like when you spoke about the fire in Bellandur Lake, it was not even, it was a small piece of grass on some hard land near the lake side, which had caught fire. The whole India, the whole country is speaking about fire on the lake, which is actually not true. But anyway, there is our duty to see that lake is revived. There is a huge amount of work that needs to be done, and we are doing that work. We have committed funds. We committed on every day. People are reviewing the work, whether it's on Bellandur Lake or on Vartur Lake, and we will see to it that things we come out on top, and the lake gets revived. That is definitely a task which we are cut out.
Right.
Cut out for us.
One other question. One other question. One way for you to actually keep an eye on what is going on is to install CCTV cameras, and that was something that was being spoken about. When can we actually expect action over there? When can we see those CCTV cameras? You say there are people who are actually monitoring the lake.
You are saying, when can you have action? There is so much of work that is being done on those lakes. So much of money is being pumped in. So much of work is happening. So, do not make it out to be that government is not taking any action. But regarding these things, definitely any other lacuna is there. We will try and make it up, and I will bring it to the notice of our administrators and our officers and our ministers to see that if this whatever work that needs to be addressed on an immediate basis. These are all small things which are happening. Maybe it was done today or yesterday,
right.
But I don't think it's been done on a regular basis.
Mr. Rao, then can we get in touch with you tomorrow, or can we get in touch with a civic official tomorrow and expect a response on this, on what action has been taken?
We are responding. Who says we are not responding? We are responding. You please ask us. Unfortunately, today what has happened is there are thousands of lakes in so many cities in the country, but it's only Bellandur Lake which is being spoken about, and no other lake is being mentioned, as if every other lake in every other city is clean and neat and not polluted. But leaving the politics aside, it is our duty to see that the lake is revived. It is our duty to see that the lake becomes better.
All I'm asking for, Mr. Rao, is can we get back in touch with you tomorrow? And yes, by then, would you have a sense of what action has been taken on this report?
Like I said, I represent the party. This you should address to the officers, the commissioner, police commissioner, or the BBMP commissioner or the PDA. But I will bring it to their notice, and I will tell them to respond to you also, and to see that if there is any, based on your video footage, if action needs to be taken, definitely we will take it. We will not be found wanting on any of those issues.
Right, Mr. Rao, thank you very much for that. And we will, of course, keep following up with the commissioner and with the chief of the BDA. We've also already caught up with the mayor, who is also in charge of the city. But let's go across to Sridhar Pabishetty now of the Namma Bengaluru Foundation, who joins us. Sridhar, it was just yesterday that we spoke that some action is finally being taken, and that looks like an eyewash over here.
Absolutely, and I think I find it really appalling that the working president of the Congress party chooses to say that it was a small fire in the Bellandur Lake. The fire raged on for 4 hours, and you could see that it was raging on in a green area, which means that it was not just the dry grass and wet grass which caught fire, as the Congress president is trying to portray, nor as like the officials tried to portray in the National Green Tribunal last Wednesday. Last Thursday, they got a rap on their knuckles for misrepresenting this and calling it a casual fire of dry grass and wet grass, and the NGT did not buy this argument. I do hope that the Congress working president actually understands the gravity of his trivializing manner in which he has spoken about the issues. The Paura Karmikas themselves dumping debris or garbage into the lake is a serious offense, and I do hope that Mr. Gundara will be able to say whom he will fine the 5 lakh rupees. I think this is something the NGT would also like to know, and I hope he will have the answers for himself. He'll get it from the officials. He'll talk to the in-charge minister and at least let us know of if at all the government is serious about acting on such a kind of situation.
Exactly, and look at the footage that we are showing on the screen. It actually looks like all the work that has been done on the Bellandur Lake, all the work that, if there is any work that has been done to revive or clean up the lake, is to no avail, because they are dumping that same garbage into the other end of the lake.
The whole definition of BBMP is about a garbage transportation mafia rather than anything else. They are supposed to handle garbage, not transport garbage. And this is exactly been exposed of how 751 crores is what BBMP will swallow in the name of garbage management from the city of Bengaluru this year. That's the budgeted amount. And to say that this is just a trivial issue, and I think the government has exposed itself by saying that neither is it serious in protecting Bellandur, nor is it serious in spending the 751 crores of the BBMP budget responsibly.
Right. Also, Sridhar, of course, Mirror now is taking it up and we intend to see it through till that lake is clean. But tell us this, as residents, this is something that affects you as well, and you all have also been fighting tooth and nail for that lake. How are you going to take this up with the government?
We have actually been running pillar to post since yesterday in terms of the debris being dumped in Bellandur Lake. Mr. Gundara mentioned that there is some reports from Bellandur, but actually there is absolutely no action on ground. The revenue officials are yet to come back and show the survey sketches and demarcate the Raj Kalwe. So the Raj Kalwe is undefined, the buffer zone is undefined, the lake boundary is undefined. So everybody is at the liberty to kind of portray a falsehood, like how Mr. Gundara said, that this is somebody dumping in his private lands. So can the revenue official authenticate this? Why does it take more than 36 hours for somebody to even come and show where the Raj Kalwe is and where the boundary ends? This is clearly happening in violation of the NGT order, and this kind of callousness is shocking from the state government.
Right. Sridhar, thank you very much for joining us. We are now joined by Malvika Avinash of the BJP. Malvika, we have on camera proof over here that the Paura Karmikas, the civic staff, are themselves dumping debris and garbage into the Bellandur Lake. The only thing that they've done is clear it from one side and take it to the other side.
You see the government apathy that's flashing on your screen today. I think the government on its own, although the Congress is in power in the state and has technically snatched the BBMP as well, the governing of BBMP as well, from the BJP, and yet they do not take an issue as serious as this, which is the Bellandur Lake and the toxins that emit from it. They do not seem to understand the gravity of the situation. There is an NGT order that is there for them to act upon, and yet you see the callousness and the apathy. It's extremely unfortunate that this situation continues despite the court order.
Right, Malvika, I understand that you all are not in power in Karnataka at the moment, but isn't there more that you can do as an opposition over here? At least pull up the government a little more to ensure that they do something about this lake and all the other lakes in Bangalore that are dying a slow death?
We have been doing this repeatedly over Bellandur. Both BJP as an opposition in the assembly, as well as BJP as opposition in the BBMP, which is the Bengaluru Mahanagarapalike, our body corporation that governs Bengaluru, has been repeatedly raising these issues, and now it's no longer just a political issue. Once the NGT issues has come down so heavily upon the government and has forced the government to act, and yet this is not happening. It is only for the government to act and no more. There is no room for politics here. So the government to stand up and act. What more are they looking for? How much more toxins do they want to come out of Bellandur, and how much more health hazards do they want to cause to the citizens of Bengaluru?
Right, Malvika, now we have proof, which is what we are showing on the screen over here, proof on camera that it is actually the Paura Karmikas who have picked up the garbage from one end of the lake and they're dumping it on the other end of the lake. Tell us this, citizens are obviously very disturbed because it finally looked like there was something happening over here. What will the BJP as a responsible opposition do? Will you pick up this issue? Will you ensure that the government acts on this now? And will you ensure that people who are actually doing this, the culprits, are caught and penalized?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it is incumbent upon the BJP as the opposition to pull up the government on this and to ensure that the government follows what has been ruled by the NGT.
Malvika, we are not going to let go of this on Mirror now, and I'm hoping that we can get back to you 24 hours down the line. We can get back with you tomorrow, and you can tell us what exactly the BJP has done to ensure that there is some action for this massive display of civic apathy. Thank you very much, Malvika, for joining us. And moving on now to a response that's come in from the mayor of Bengaluru, who shockingly continues to pay customary lip service. Listen into what she had to say when we showed her this appalling footage.
ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂಥರ ಬೇಜಾರು ಅನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ NGT ಏನು ಆದೇಶ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ತಲೆ ಬಾಗಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ ದ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಸ್. ಇದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ JC ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ 24/7 ರೌಂಡ್ ದ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಕಸ ಡೆಬ್ರಿಸಿ ಯಾವುದು ಕೂಡ ತೊಗೊಂಬಂದು ಲೇಕ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹಾಕಿದಂಗೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಅವರು ನಿನ್ನೆ ತಾನೇ CCTV 2 ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ಕೂಡ ಅಳವಡಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಪೌರ ಕಾರ್ಮಿಕರಿಗೆ ಸಣ್ಣದೊಂದು ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಮ ವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್ ಮೂಲಕ ನನಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಕೂಡಲೇ ನಾವು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಷನ್ ತೊಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ಆ ಥರ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಪೌರ ಕಾರ್ಮಿಕರು ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟರ್ಗೆ ಪೆನಾಲ್ಟಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ, ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಷನ್ ತೊಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ.
From the past few days we are seeing like this garbage dumping is going on here, okay, nearby, and it seems like those are the BBMP employees, but still they are putting the garbage over here.
There is this pungent smell coming every now and then. So if they're just dumping the garbage on one side of the lake and putting back on the other, I don't think so. The authorities need to work something on this, you know.
The higher authorities should be looking into it. They should not be doing this kind of work because there are people who are getting serious problems. They should be checking what exactly has been done and who's doing what, right? I mean, the authorities are aligning some work, but they're not governing what is happening at the other side of the thing.
Few days back they have started something and they are putting the garbage, taking from one side and putting on the other side. And it is very hazardous. Even groundwater also we are not able to use.